iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
You know, it's wild. It was 20 years ago that we opened on Broadway, and I remember it was it was the first time that Little Shop had ever been on Broadway before, because it was off Broadway for the longest time, and I've always been in love with the show. I've always it's just, to me, it's the perfect show. Like it has almost no flaws. It's the way and it's how it's laid out, the music, the character development, the structure of story, like everything about it is sort of just perfect. And so to come back to Skid Row has just been a real joy every single day to listen to that music. And I tear up every time I hear these songs. Oh, and they make fun of me for but because I do. It's great to hear this music. Love it so much.
I mean, I've always loved the movie. My parents showed it to me really early on, and it was absolutely terrifying, but it's perfect. It has so much heart, and I think that's the thing that our production is really capturing already with 8 days of rehearsal. I mean, there's so much heart in this room. There's so much love in this room, and the characters really are a family. They're all that each other has. So I think it's going to be all things campy, fun, just beautiful and filled with love and really funny.
So I first auditioned for Little Shop in the 80s, and I auditioned for Seymour. It didn't work out, and cut to many other experiences and shows, and so to come back to it at playing Mushnik is swell.
Honestly, the movie back in the 80s, oh yeah, I was a huge fan, and I've been following it ever since, seeing lots of iterations of the Broadway show, and now I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, I discovered it when I was a little kid, and I was flipping through channels on TV, and my buddy and I came upon this movie. I've always been a huge horror fan, and I saw, a movie called Little Shop of Horrors is on TV, and I switched it, but I didn't realize it was the Spanish channel. So I watched most of this movie with Spanish dubbing. And then when the songs came on, they switched to English with subtitles. So I got some of it, and I saw the puppet, and I was kind of mind blown by it, but I had no idea really what was going on. And then later I sought it out and watched the whole thing and completely fell in love and was a little bit obsessed with it. But I never got to do it, and now we're here.
We have an amazingly talented cast, and I'm just really honored and trying to rise to the occasion. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do my part. But it's really been fun. It's been easy breezy. I felt like we've been just plugging and playing along, you know what I mean? Because it's been going so easily. And I'm excited to get to Maine so we can put it on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, likewise. This is a dream cast, a dream theater to work at. I've always wanted to work at Ogunquit, and a dream show. And our director, I mean, it sounds, I feel like I'm being redundant right now. Everything's a dream. It's true. I mean, the version of Little Shop, the cast recording I listened to growing up was Hunters. So it was, kind of major that we get to star in the first time he's directing this show is with us as his Audrey and Seymour, which is really, really cool. And also, I mean, it's a perfect musical. So I feel whenever you get a chance to do a show that I believe is perfect, it's just a dream.
I think this show really needed for us, we really wanted to find actors who are grounded, who bring truth to the piece, because I think that these characters, there is a larger than life quality about them, but if they're not sort of grounded in truth, then it can come off as campy or cartoonish, and we really wanted to find real actors who could make this, because I know that's the pitfall of the show, and I think with Talia Nitai and with Adam and with Ed Watts, who's playing Oren, they're just all really good grounded actors. So then. And when you're grounded in what you're doing, then all the sort of larger-than-life stuff can sort of live on top of that stuff, and then it becomes truthful instead of being a cartoon.
I mean, that's a pro. I mean, that's the blueprint right there, and so it's an honor to be around someone who knows the show so intimately and can offer a fresh perspective, which we're doing some things that hadn't been done before, and I'm excited about that.
We get along famously, and I mean, I think when we auditioned, we kind of had our callback together, which was really cool, and so we were like, oh, this would be easy and fun and great, and we're just gonna play for a month. It's gonna be great.
Well, also, she's not in her heels right now, but can you show like what it is when you're in your heels? Yeah, I mean, this like does so much of the work. This does so much of the work for us that it actually takes some pressure off.
Yeah.
He and I had a little history together. We did a show in Williamstown in 2005, I think. He was an actor back then, and I just admired him greatly. He's so clever and inventive and imaginative, and so I'd hoped that we would work together again, but I had no idea that it would be as actor-director, and he's so good, and you know we're doing summer stock here, but he's so specific in how he directs and weaves the story that I really feel like we're kind of doing a full rehearsal process, whereas really we've just been at it for a week, so I'm a big fan.
Well, I mean, you know, we are blessed to have Latrice Royale as our plant, Audrey 2, and I just want to say that it'll be a plant unlike anything that anyone's ever seen before. And it's, you know, I think the traditional, what people expect the plant to be, we've sort of completely rethought the whole thing to incorporate Latrice more in the show, to bring what Latrice does. And I think overall conceptually, it's really going to bring sort of the drag race world to the production, and really bring what Latrice's world to our production. And I think it's going to be a really unique and special experience.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.